If you want to talk in Portuguese, yes, you can. But I'll ask you questions in English. You can answer in Portuguese.
Yeah, I'll answer.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, passers-by. Welcome to join our next session at Stuff United Fund. Our topic will be reframing climate justice, youth education, and the power to redesign the future in just 2 minutes. If you're interested in seeing how are teenagers reacting on climate justice, please join us at Stuff United Fund in 2 minutes. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, passers-by. Welcome to Stuff United Fund next session. We're going to have our topic called Reframing Climate Justice, Youth Education, and the Power to Redesign the Future in just 30 seconds. If you're interested in hearing from our youth delegates, our young teenagers, your action, then please join us in 30 seconds. Thank you.
我把你们如果仪态。
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, passers-by, joining our activity today at Stuff United Fund. Welcome to our next session. Our title today is Reframing Climate Justice, Youth Education, and the Power to Redesign the Future. As you can see, the participants today, the speakers today are actually quite interested because we have a combination of people from Asia who actually speak English today, and also we have a local high school students from the hometown. I don't know how to pronounce your name, like Balaam or Balaam or something, but he's a Brazilian. So if you're interested in some combination of different topics, then you're at the right place. So our topic today, as I mentioned, reframing climate justice, youth education, and the power to redesign the future. This event at COP30's Green Zone responds to the call to action launched by Social and Environmental Moments for a Global Day of Action tomorrow on 15 November 2025. So the event explores how education and youth development can serve as powerful tools for advancing climate justice, which is very important for our present day. We invite young people not just to participate, but to reshape the narrative. And today we want to start by inviting an expert and young talents to share about the actions and expectations of the climate justice actions. Starting off for today's session, we invited Professor Ryan Lin to start sharing his experience. So, climate change is not only an environmental challenge, it is also a financial and educational one. The way we invest resources and the way we educate ourselves in the next generation will determine whether we can rise the scale of this crisis. Joining us online from the other side of the earth with 11 hours time differences, which means it is actually 1 a.m. in the morning, in midnight. So, people, please give Mr. Ryan Lin, Professor Ryan Lin, a big round of applause and welcome his speech today. Currently, we have some technical issues, but we will fix it right away.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone. I am Mengxiang Ryan Lin, Associate Professor and Director of School of Financial Technology at Minchuan University, Taiwan. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor to represent Minchuan University Department of Financial Technology Application. Today, I would like to share our vision and the commitment to fostering collaboration with global institutions in the field of financial technology and climate change education. I'm also honored to address the transformative potential of financial technology in advancing the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). As we navigate the complication of our world, we find ourselves at the intersection of technology and responsibility. Our task is to harness these powerful tools to address global challenges and foster a more sustainable and equitable future. Part 1, the structure and the empowerment. Okay, financial inclusion as a catalyst for the growth. FinTech has emerged as a pivotal force in driving economical growth and fostering social inclusion. By providing access to essential financial services, FinTech empowers individuals and communications, particularly the unbanked and underserved, to participate in the global finance. This aligns with SDG 8 and SDG 10. Through mobile banking and microfinance, FinTech breaks down traditional barriers, enabling millions to achieve FinTech financial stability and economic empowerment. Second, innovative financial products and services. The advent of digital platforms and innovative financial products has revolutionized how we interact with money. Peer-to-peer lending, crowdfunding, and digital wallets are just a few examples of how FinTech is decentralized finance. These innovations not only drive economic growth, but also promote social equity by ensuring that financial services are accessible to all. Part 2, climate empowerment through FinTech. This part, okay. Facilitate green finance and climate investment. In the face of climate change, FinTech offers tools to facilitate green finance and climate investment, supporting SDG 13 climate action. By blockchain technology and digital tokens, FinTech enhance transparency and accountability in climate finance. This ensures that funds directed toward sustainable projects, accelerating the transition to a low-carbon finance. Second, enhancing environmental sustainability. FinTech solutions such as carbon credit trading platforms and sustainable investor funds empower individuals and organizations to contribute to inevitable sustainability. These platforms provide critical data and insights, enabling stakeholders to make informed decisions that align with environmental goals. As a result, FinTech not only drives economic growth, but also supports the global effort to combat climate changes. Part 3, opportunities and challenges of AI. AI holds large potential to revolutionize financial services by enhancing decision-making and operational efficiency. AI-driven analysis and auto-report modeling can optimize investment strategy, detect fraud, and improve customer experience, contributing to SDG 9. Second, addressing ethical and regulatory challenges. Despite its potential, AI presents important ethical and regulatory challenges. Issues such as data privacy, AI bias, AI discrimination, and accountability must be addressed to ensure responsible AI deployment. Establishing robust AI governance framework that focus transparency, accountability, and human rights is essential to mitigate these risks and maximizing AI benefits. Part 4. Addressing AI and cryptocurrency scams. The rise of AI and cryptocurrencies has led to new forms of scams and fraud, posing huge threats to consumers and financial systems. Implementing robust regulatory frameworks and consumer protection measures is crucial to mitigate these risks. Governments and financial institutions must collaborate to develop comprehensive strategy that safeguard digital assets and protect some consumers from fraud activities. Second, education and awareness. Educating consumers about the potential threats and how to safeguard their assets is equally important. Public awareness campaigns and educational programs can empower individuals to recognize and respond to scams effectively. Specific case studies highlights how education and regulation can reduce scam incident for fostering a safer digital environment for all. In conclusion, fintech and AI offer many opportunities to drive sustainable development and foster a more equitable and resilient world. As we embark on this journey, let us engage in dialogue, build consensus, and deepen our understanding to ensure these technologies serve the greater good. By working together, we can create a world where technology empowers humanity and paves the way for a sustainable and safety future for all. Educate future leaders. Our department is committed to nurturing the next generations of leaders who can bridge the gap between technology and sustainability. By integrating fintech and climate change education into our course and practice, we aim to produce students who are not only technical skilled, but also social responsible. In closing, I want to emphasize that the future of our planet depends on how we educate, innovate, and collaborate today. At Minchuan University, we are committed to being part of the solution by working hand in hand with global institutions to drive progress in fintech and climate change education. Let us join for process to create a world where technology, education, and sustainability come together to build a brighter, greener future for all. Let us continue to innovate and collaborate, ensuring that the fintech and AI become powerful, at least in our quest for a better world. Thank you for your attention and committed to a sustainable future. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Professor Lin, for this amazing sharing. Now we're coming back to our stage locally at... Can you teach me how to pronounce the city's name?
Oh, it's Belém do Pará.
Okay, Belém. I only know how to pronounce Belém. So we're back to Belém because we're also actually inviting a young talent who is only 15 years old, which is sitting right next to you. So this young talent, he actually wanted to share 2 organizations that he's working with today. Please welcome our speaker, the Chief Editor of Interaction and General Secretary of Fridays of Future TW, Jimmy Wei, on the stage. Let's welcome Jimmy.
Hello. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So I think I might be the youngest guy here. I don't know, probably. So let me just reintroduce myself again. I'm Jimmy Wei and from Taipei. So right now I'm currently running a magazine called Action. I brought today. I'll take it back later. And also I'm running an organization called Fridays for Future TW, and I'm currently as a general secretary. So first of all, I want to share some media and some how I as a youth, how can I explore the world? How can I let the world make better? How can I change the world? So let's start with the media part, the action. Right. So action, this word is come from two words, innovation and action. And what we do and what the media do with them three main things. People, opinion, and the world. We want to know how everyone's going on the world. What is everyone doing for sustainability? What is every youth doing on sustainability? And how are we going to let our future going better around the world with different solutions and different ideas? And so as you can see, these three are the magazine that we have published for the past year. So, which is mainly about some forums, events, and different kind of activities around the world, and some different inspiring actions that can change the world, that might change the world better to a better place. So we have four big main contacts, including the view from the future, some opinions from youth, from students, and also meeting the shapers. We interview different kind of people. We introduce different people who are experts or who are the one is trying to change the world. And also the United Twins, we find some new technologies and locals, how local can change their community. And at the last is make a difference. How we, as a reader, maybe 15 years old or maybe 60 years old, but as a reader, how can I join this kind of activity? How can I join this kind of globalized thing? And how can we let our world better? So these are the some of the main topics. These are all topics that we have in our every magazine. So you can just have a quick view. So for now, that we are still a small magazine. What we have is we go interview different kind of people. We write paragraph. We have an online media, and that is also currently working. And for future, we'll do a update quarterly, and also we wish we have an English version. So till now, yes, we have done like 60 or 70%. We have most of them were English. We're bilingual, Mandarin and English. And also, we want to have a contribution with locals, with peoples around the world, and we have the website. And the last is the most important. It's profitable. So actually, till now, like we're still like doing this project by our love. We print our magazine. It's like maybe like almost $1,000 every magazine we print. Every season we print for the magazine. So that's a lot. So we really want to having some business model to that ourselves can being self-sustainable. So if you're interested in our things, you can just contact us. And so that is a short introduction of our magazine. But what I want to say is, why am I here? Like, why me as a writer, as a publisher? Why am I here? So, just like what I just said, I'm a youth, and it's a very special opinion. What we know is the future will be in this generation. We are the guy who will lead the world. We are the guy who will change the future. So I want to be the guy who can come to the COP30, who can come here to showcasing our youth idea, showcasing our youth opinion, and also inform the world that we are coming. But expect from that, I also expect to interview a lot of different kind of experts, even like government officers and more people who want to know what are they doing and what are they doing for our future. and what can we do with them. So it's a special opinion that I wish I, as a youth, can bring and share my opinion to the world and back to our local community, Taiwan. So that is the main media part that we have done so far. So the next part I want to talk about is the other organization I'm doing right now is Fridays for Future Taiwan. So I think like maybe most of you have heard of Fridays for Future since we're in the COP. But so let me just have a short introduction again in case someone didn't know what is Fridays for Future. So it was started by Greta Thunberg, a Swedish girl who sits in the parliament every Friday, just trying to let the government start to notice about the climate issue. So he started in 2018, and we as a Taiwanese, we think yes, we are also a part of the world, even though we might not that worldwide recognized, but we are still a part of the world. So we believe that we should join this kind of big community. We should join this kind of big community to work with others. Like this is a very important thing that it is going to happen in the next 10 years or 20 or 30 years. So what we have done is we have done different kind. Yes. Thank you. All right. So what we have done is that 2 years ago we have done a climate strike in Taipei City, the biggest city in Taiwan. So we have done a strike, and we have do a lot of action, including going to street cleaning, beach cleaning, and a lot of stuff. But that is when the last generation of FFF Taiwan. But this generation, what we do from this year is that we find out that strike, it's a very sensitive thing in Taiwan, China, or even the big East Asia culture. That's just very sensitive. School, parents, teachers, they just think about, oh, you are a student, then you should study. You should only study, going to math, Chinese, Mandarin, English, just do your test, do your work, and got an amazing grade. Well, that is how traditional Taiwan's culture is going on. But strike is very sensitive. They think like, why are you done going to school? Why don't you go study? Why are you caring about this kind of thing that might not happen in the next 10 years? So since we're doing some kind of strike, we have got a lot of pressure, including from schools, parents, or different kind of people. So what we find out is we want to change the world. We want to make the world better. Then why don't we starting from education? We all know, just what I say, that we are the next generation. We are the guy who is going to change the world. Then why don't we let future leaders get to know the climate, get to know this kind of global, very important issue as soon as possible when they are little. So what we do is we do climate education. So far till now, from this year March, we have been to more than 10 different schools, including public, private, elementary to middle to high school. More than 1,000 students have heard about our little climate classes. Yeah, so this is old data, sorry. So different climate classes. And what we talk about them, what we tell them is, why are you going to care about climate? Why should you focus on climate? So in elementary school, we talk to them like, it's November right now, but it's still 25 degrees. It should be like 10, 15 degrees, but it's 25 degrees. So this is what we tell elementary school students. You can see that is very, very, very obvious that the climate is coming different. It's very weird. It's unnormal. But for the high school students, I think we're telling them that it's a normal climate. They won't got any touch. So what we tell them about is their future career. They're going to college. What we talk about is their future career. What the climate issue might affect their future path. There might be some special job that is just specialized for this kind of people who are ready for the climate issue. Or the college, maybe the college needs people more focused on this kind of issue that can change the world, that is about their future. So we talk to the higher grade student about their future. So expect from the climate education, we also talk about the zero waste street advocacy. So we found out that in Taipei and some other places, like coffee shop, even you're dining in, they still give you a paper cup instead of a mug. So we found out like that is very unsustainable. That is not good for our environment. Like as you can see, I'm dining in, but why are you giving a paper cup instead of a mug? That paper cup that is just throw away, maybe going to the ocean and pollute our fish, our sea environment. That is very bad. So what we do is we go to the Da'an Forest Park, which is the biggest park in Taiwan, and to trying to get some signature from locals and from visitors and even from shops. We want to let the companies know that there are some people in society is care about what you're doing. We wish them can transforming from giving paper cups to a mug. Yes. So this is what we have done so far, and so for our goal in the future is that our generation know the real problem that is really happening. Because actually in school, like we might have some time to talk about climate issue, but that is not deep enough. In school, like in Taiwan, our biology class, we talk about the sea level rising. We talk about the Nordic iceberg is melting. That is what we talk about. But the school told us that okay, the iceberg is melting, the sea level is rising up, but we don't have any feeling. We just okay, so that is like 1,000 kilometers from here. Like I don't fucking care about that because it's too far away from me. But so what we want to let the children know is the real problem that is really going to affect them. So the central message what I want to talk about and share about today is that sustainability can be explored through every subject of interest. So we not only just tell them what you should care about, we also tell them that how you can care about. Like for me, I'm good at social science. So what I can research about is about maybe geography. I can see via some geography data. What I can found is from research from news, and we can just using combining the sustainability issue with the subject that you are interested in. So this is a social media we have. So and it is English and Chinese bilingual. So I think most of you guys can understand what we are doing. And at here we have shared all the news update we had, including just 2 weeks ago, Saturday after I came to Brazil. We also joined a climate walk. A very big walk activity in Taipei, trying to let the government know, and it's also combining with the COP30 this event. Right, so I think that is all about I'm going to share about today. So thanks for listening, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy, for this amazing sharing. Once again, I want to emphasize he's only 15 years old. And think about, you still remember what you're doing when you're 15? Literally, I was playing sand. Like, really starting to have internet, using computers, playing, I don't know what kind of games I was playing. So he is literally very amazing at his age. And speaking of internet, we're going back once again to the cyber world. Where we're going to travel again back to the time differences 11 hours away to our hometown, which is called Formosa. Interestingly, Formosa is in Portuguese, like beautiful island, right? So the topic we're going to talk about is TGB 2030 Project Green Visa, which is an organization focused very, very heavily in protecting our environment and our future, collaborating with youth actions and actually with a lot of corporates. So our awareness of sustainability has matured. As you guys see, more and more people not only embrace the concept of sustainability, but also practice changes in their daily lives. For example, we donate unworn clothes to migrant workers, or we also switch to public transportation. So a lot of actions we're doing locally. So green actions are actually happening And who would be the better person to actually share green action than the organization called the Green Book? So let's welcome joining us online, Gina Tsai, the TGB COP CTCAT chairman. Gina, please welcome Gina. Are you here? Gina, are you with us?
Hi, everyone. I'm
okay.
Gina Tsai. I'm the president of Creative Tourism and Community Design Association in Taiwan. Okay. And today I'm going to present what Green Visa is on behalf of the Green Book. Okay. So first, what is the Green Book? We actually are the Taiwan's Michelin level sustainability guide for future generation. What does that mean? That actually will collect 30 case studies, including social innovations, circular design, and those case studies, you actually can find the solutions that actually can apply for your companies or your daily life. And if you are interested for more details, you can go to our official sites where you can download in the English versions. And I'm going to talk into more about why we create this guidebook, because we want to create a sustainable ecosystem, okay? Because green is no longer a trend. It should be the way we live. However, when we eat, when we travel, we find out that it's so hard to find the information you needed. For example, if you are procurement staff in an enterprise, you want to purchase something that is good for the environment or more sustainable products. And you got to spend a lot of resources in finding these suppliers. While if you are a designer or if you are a supplier, you want to sell your product or service to this enterprise, but it's very hard for you to reach out to this enterprise or consumers. So we see there's a loophole in the current ecosystem. So that is why we are trying to create a green ecosystem where no matter you are the consumers or you are the procurement staff or you are the suppliers, you are very easy to find the clients. And we use the name we called Green Visa or Green Pass. What does that mean? We hope that one day by using this platform, it's very easy for you to find the green suppliers, green stories, and across the industry, no matter it's construction, it's the medical, it's travel, or it's food industry. Everything that lifestyle, everything you can think of, as long as you want to do the sustainable consumptions or experience, you can find on from this tool. Okay, so what we are planning to do is to build up this ecosystem with this platform. No matter you want to look for the talent, like the talents, use talents on the spots where they understand and advocate for the sustainability, or for the stakeholders, they actually care and they want to be in this ecosystem. And for the consumers, where you do have some points in your, a lot of like campaigns apps, but how to align all these points together so that they can be used for the sustainable usage. And then definitely the consumer or the enterprise also care about the suppliers. Are they really the green suppliers or they are greenwash? So we also will work with the verifications consulting firms to make this real. Okay, so think about that in the future. There is one platform. No matter you are very you can find a sustainable lifestyle product, food, consumptions, or even travel, mobility. And while you are collecting these points, they actually can all share together. So we find the current problem is there are some individual brands or they're using some campaigns to share with these points to encourage the consumers to be more sustainable or doing recycle or upcycling things. We're just thinking that can we combine all these individual brands, all these campaigns together, and we imagine using this platform and we call it Green Visa. Okay, so think about that. This is a platform I find on UK. In UK, But this is only applied in UK. So for example, I'm in Taiwan, you are in Brazil, you cannot use this. But this is a very good platform. Well, on the other hand, in Taiwan, we actually very encourage people to recycling the bottles and give you some points or even cash if you do this. But again, this is also an individual tools or campaign that is not aligned with most of the Visa cards, MasterCards, or any points systems they are using. And again, this is a big brand doing the recycle reward to their fans or consumer. And this is another transportation company that also give their consumers some points if they're using like less carbon way of travel. So we are encouraged and they want to ask all these companies who actually are providing this reward to their consumers or their clients can join this system so that in the future, all these points being collected from different lifestyle behaviors can be joined together and you can exchange to something you want. For example, our association actually provide a green tour to Japan this year, and where we bring some Taiwanese scholars and also enterprise that they're going to visit Japan and to learn how they can do it more green and sustainable. But if we do have these green visa points, you actually can leverage these points and maybe you also can exchange a green tour like this. That is what we imagine for the future. Okay, so here I come back to say this green visa, actually, it is something we imagine and we want to co-build together with you also, especially for the people on the spot, that can we actually work together to build up this shared ecosystem so that no matter where you are in the world, no matter you are the suppliers or you are the procurements or actually you are the consumers, you actually can go on this platform, you are able to share all this information, these good stories, and then to find the consumers. And the consumer also can find the products they are looking for on this Green Visa platform. So that is something we are proposing and hope that we can work together, not just locally, but also globally. Okay, so if you want more information, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'm also look forward if you have any questions, and then I also give some suggestions that can help us to build up this green visa system ecosystem together. Thank you. That's the end of my presentation.
Okay, thank you, Gina, for the amazing sharing. Next, we have our final keynote of this afternoon, but then we will follow up with a panel of all the youth leaders, which including the 15-year-old and also our local, how old are you? 17? 17 local high school students from Belém. And one of our very amazing talent also from the other part of the world. We will have a panel after this final keynote. So at COP30, we're at the heart of the Amazon. Youth voices bring us closer to nature. From Brazil on the edge of the world's lawns, young people share what they have seen, felt, and learned about climate justice. But what about from a corporate perspective? What do they observe on these actions around the world? Now we're honored to have one of the biggest media groups representative from Formosa, Commonwealth Magazine, to share their perspective. So let's please welcome our speaker of the day, CSR at CW Director by Coffee Huang. Let's give it a round of applause. Mr. Huang, are you with us?
Sorry. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. My name. No.
Yes, you can start right now.
My name is Bicycle Huang. I am the managing editor about the Commonwealth magazine. my focus on ESG and SDGs relevant issues. First, I want to thank you everyone for this to bring Taiwan's voice to the COP30 and at the same time bring the COP30 value back to Taiwan. The issues at COP this year are quite diverse. My main focus is on biodiversity, especially regarding the measurement and the loss of biodiversity. Whether this truly makes participants feel nervous or what action solutions have been proposed on site, I would like to ask our young partner to share your issue or initiative you want to bring to the COP. Also, please share one new friend you met at COP and what inspired you. I hope to present the two-way exchange between our Taiwanese partner and the COP, whether it's about biodiversity, climate change, adaptation, or the others. The above is my question. Thanks for your sharing.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Huang, for your amazing keynote on this final session. Now, as I promised, we are going to have a panel inviting our youth delegates on stage. So, I'm going to reset the stage. Please give me a second. Then I will invite our speakers of the day. As you can see, we're short of staff because we're at the sustainability event. We need to invite less people flying over to Brazil. So, saving some energy, protecting the earth. Okay, so after the setup, let's welcome our panel today. As mentioned, as promised, please welcome Jimmy back to the stage, our 15-year-old delegate. And we're also inviting today, we have a very special guest. You want to come up stage? As I promised, we have our local high school student. His name is Nicholas. Welcome, Nicholas. And then we have another special guest. His name is Sean. Please welcome on the stage. As you can see, maybe you cannot tell his age because I think most of the people cannot tell Asian's age. Which, at the same time, you guys cannot guess. Maybe you think I'm 25, maybe? But I'm actually 38. So, yeah, quite surprising, right? So, now I'm going to start our panel today. Can we please jump off to our slides, please? Okay, now you have all the names. Okay, so I'm going to pass microphone to Nicholas first. So our panel title of the day is called Be the Climate Agency, What School Didn't Teach Us About Climate Justice. Because I think we all remember when we were at school, we only learn about mathematics and science. We never talk about climate justice, climate change, because we think that that is something outside of classroom. That's an extracurricular activity. But the truth is, we need to learn in school. We need to nurture our knowledge from our education at school. So, today our first question is going to Nicholas. Nicholas, as a high school climate activist, what's one thing you wish your school taught about climate justice, and how would they have changed your perspective? And Nicholas, he is a local, so he's going to speak in Portuguese so that all of you can understand what we're talking about. Please, Nicholas.
Yeah. Então, eu vou falar pouco em português aqui. Então, Eu vou responder essa pergunta que ele falou em português. Eu moro aqui no Pará, em Belém, e a pergunta dele foi sobre o que eu gostaria que a minha escola ensinasse sobre justiça climática e sobre os problemas ambientais. O que eu gostaria de falar é um termo que existe, que é chamado racismo ambiental. O racismo ambiental, ele fala sobre como as comunidades que são mais marginalizadas são as mais afetadas pelo racismo, pelas mudanças climáticas. Então, se você vê as pessoas mais pobres que moram tipo em palafitas, o povo negro, o povo quilombola são os que mais são afetados. Se você for ver também em áreas mais pobres, em áreas de favela, são as que mais têm lixo pela rua. E se você for em alguma área mais nobre do Brasil ou de qualquer lugar do mundo, você vai ver que geralmente é um lugar bem limpo assim. E quando é em comunidades pobres, é um lugar bem sujo. Então, é algo que realmente devia ser ensinado nas escolas, porque é uma injustiça muito grande, já que todos somos humanos, né? Independente da nossa condição financeira. Então, seria realmente importante que, desde jovem, os estudantes aprendessem sobre o racismo ambiental. E é muito importante.
So I'm pretending I understand. Yeah. Anyway, because he's a climate activist, so I sort of guess his answer, but then we're going to move on to someone who I can actually understand. So our second question, please hand the microphone to... Oh, you have a microphone. It's okay. We're asking Sean for the next question. So Sean is not a high school student, but he's still considered a youth, a teenager, right? Because he's younger than me. So Sean, your direction is actually youth voice in policy and decision making, because my question to you is, do you feel young people are taken seriously in climate action, in climate policy spaces? Because I think most people thought that teenagers, we have our voice, but it's not that important. So what kind of education or support would help us show up more powerfully in public?
Hello. Okay, it's on. Thank you, Joe, for the question, and I'm happy to be here. Hello, everyone. My name is Sean Hong. I'm the founder of Happiness. I'm also a multimedia storyteller and systems thinking practitioner. Currently leading a big global initiative across the world about climate narratives and why it's so important for us. So I would frame your question today around the topic on narratives and why it's so important for us as youth or anyone in wherever you come from, different backgrounds and languages and culture, why it's so important for us to use narrative as a tool. And as your question about are we being taken seriously, I think in my experience, talking to other youth leaders, youth influence are often conditional. And these conditions and gaps are what I think are the most important part for us to try to find and mobilize people together to talk about. Because without understanding these conditions, which often depends on whether we can operate at the pace and precision required for actual governance, it's hard to gain trust. And without that trust, it's very hard for us to demonstrate our competence about knowing and understanding how things really work, and understanding the feedback loops, the incentive structures, the bureaucracy, and then also the political appetite throughout the world. And I see this as, in the very uncertain times, these are very, very important, which is always changing. And one thing that I learned after working with Taiwan's policymakers, research institute, and international organizations is that many of them are actually also figuring out. Just like what, to bring back the pandemic, sometimes it's changing every day. And for instance, as a Taiwanese, sometimes the geopolitical attention, can really influence and infiltrate how decision makers make the decision and who they want to ask to invite them to the table and consult with. So it's very important to me that narratives to show up with the tools and courage required to shape the system itself is very important. So firstly, to show that system competence is very important, along with emotional intelligence and institutional literacy. Often in Taiwan, in Hokkien, we said "meigak." You know, it's a word that we often use for more experienced people. We learn from them, trying to understand the meigak. And that's also, in English, I believe it's translated to the knack, the things, how things work. And I think that's very, very important because those are where we can really find clarity in the problem. And so to cultivate that ability, I'd like to share 3 things that I think youth really need for support as solutions, as my own reflections, and I hope people can build on this later on the QA session. Firstly is the structural literacy. So real understanding of how policy works is very important because without this knowledge, youth advocacy stops at aspiration and become tokenized. And this is something, I think, a barrier that's even harder to overcome than age itself. And it can also be seen as a lubricant to find common grounds and highlight how long-term strategic outlook provides more efficiency and value. So as youth, it's very important to observe and look where the problem is, where the gap is. And when you talk to people, maybe they have a more fancier title or they have more experience, try to maybe share with them where you find those gaps and how can you improve their efficiency and bring more value to them. I think that's very important. Secondly is the intergenerational mentorship that is genuine and long-term. And to me, that's very important because it helps you develop a judgment. I think judgment and clear choices are equally as important. And I'm very lucky to have many mentors in my life. And to me, those who are great leaders, great mentors, are willing to co-create with you. They're willing to lead and also be led. And I also think this is a great way to pass on the torch for youth to bring more people in when they mentor the new generation that's coming in. And thirdly is the narrative power, the ability to tell a great story. I think that knowledge informs narratives, and narratives decide policy direction long before these technical documents are written or made or media reports. So the ability to hold both complexity and imagination at the same time is where the power of ingenuity lies, and I think that's how we could cultivate more opportunities for youth to be taken more seriously and also pass on that to the other generation when they are older. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sean, for such an amazing statement. Passing torches is very important. Just as you know, I came from this consulting background, which my experiences are heavily focusing in ESG solutions and actions. We always make jokes like, oh, because we're too old, you know, 30-ish, 40-ish, we're too old. Maybe we're at the stage of giving money and giving mental support to youngsters because they're more energetic. They're definitely, you know, healthier than us, so they can take actions like way harder than us. So we support them and they do actions. But I think the truth is we can collaborate together. As Sean mentioned, passing torches, but it's not just passing. We passes and then we hold hands and march together. I think this is a very important thing for youth action. You want to translate? No, I'm kidding. Okay. Because he's gonna spend extra 10 minutes for translation. So anyway, if you guys are if you guys cannot really understand completely, like 100%, we can definitely share more after the session or in Q&A session. So you have your chance, okay? Later on, let's go to the third youth. I want to emphasize again, he's only 15 years old. So your question is, once again, as a high school student and as an entrepreneur at 15, how do you use storytelling, whether through art, because you do photographies, social media, or writing, to talk about climate justice in ways that resonate with you, with your peers, or furthermore, field experts and adults?
Hello. Okay. So as a youth, as a 15-year-old youth, like it's quite weird for me to sit in here. But maybe not for me, but maybe for you guys. Like a 15-year-old guy should be in school. But for me, like what I can do is like, well, doing the thing I can do. Okay, it's just like nothing. Okay, so what I do is we use the media. We use social media. Social media is a very, very, very extremely powerful thing in nowadays. Like everyone have Instagram and Facebook or this kind of thing, and via social media, even me as a 15-year-old or even younger kids, they can use social media to influence a lot of people and inform a lot of things that they want to let the public know. What I do believe is that the future will be this generation. Like right now in the school, they're sitting the future prime minister, future president in the school. But what they should know is their opinions and also our opinions and our generation's opinions are very, very extremely important. So via social media and via photography, via different kind of platform, we can let our youth idea, youth opinion spread out to the world. Let the one who is currently in charge of the world can hear their next person's word and starting to do some action. So expect from social media, and what I also do is with the education. I think education is a very extremely important thing that should done in the school. We all know, everyone is listening to climate change every day. We turn on the TV are saying, oh, Amazon's rainforest is deforestation. It's like 4,000 million acres are disappeared. That's just a number I just stated out. I don't know the exact number. But we know that big amount of number. But then what? What is happening next? We don't know. Like 4 million acres, that sounds a lot, but we don't have ideas. So what I want to do is going into school, letting the kids know, why should I care about climate? Look, why should I care and why should I know? And what is it going to affect our future, our generation, and how would it affect our career plan, the education plan for the very long future? So what I don't want to see is after we're in charge of a world and find out, oh, climate change is a real problem, and we started to learn what is climate change at that time, we should start it right now and start to do action and start to let more people know and more adults and youth know what we should do and the youth ideas.
So, first of all, thank you, Jimmy. You know, actually, I want to share an additional story about Jimmy because he talked about learning in person by action, right? He came here 2 days ago by taking a car or a bus through Amazon, not by flight, not by his will, because his flight was canceled and delayed. There's no planes coming back to the city. So he took 100 hours from the city of Sao Paulo to Sao Luis and then to Belém. 100 hours of traveling time to here, sitting here talking to you guys, and he's only 15 years old. Can you guys give him applause? Like, it's amazing. He literally learned by action. He experienced the Amazonia area and he saw a fire literally happening in the forest. That's amazing, right? Yeah, so that's just an additional story. Our final question of the day, I'm gonna ask all of you. So first of all, can you, Sean, disclose your age?
25.
25. So 25, 15, 17, an average age of less than 21. Let's listen to their perspective on designing an education program, because as we all share, like we try to imagine the climate education and structural learning. So if you could recommend the design of a climate justice course for your school, any school or university, what would be its core message and how would you design it differently than we have in school? Let's start with Sean.
I'm going first. Okay. Well, this is a very big question, but I wanted to open up with since as a Taiwanese, I also open up with a real example happening in the city of Taipei. So I've been volunteering and working with the Jane Goodall Institute for a very long time. Actually, they have Asia's first sustainability school academy in Taipei for elementary students. And that is a very humbling process to get to actually be with children and learn with them and actually talk to how the organization, albeit it's an international organization, they're very grounded in local work and how they can bring children to nature. And to me, I think that's a very important part because that experience of awe and wonder at the young age, sticks with you in the memory and you know that you wanted to protect. And to bring it back to where we are today in Berlin, I've been very lucky to reconnect with my relatives who have immigrated to Brazil, in Sao Paulo and Brasilia, for 6 decades ago, with a lot of different Japanese and Taiwanese immigrants. We spend a lot of time on the dinner table actually talking about, Brazil, something that's very foreign to most Taiwanese people, and what they think about it. And also a lot of time with indigenous people, how they, trying to cultivate amplify their culture, as we can see very apparent in this conference. And one thing that really stuck with me is they said that I am not defending the rainforest, I am the rainforest defending myself. And I think that that quote itself is a shift in, narratives and how our mindset sees different things. And speaking of the Amazon rainforest, to me, I think there's different ways to tell a story, right? And I want to give 2 examples. One of them is with the director Richard Lacani, who is a documentary filmmaker who made, maybe some of you have seen the Ivory Game from Netflix, and he just came out with a new one called Yanuni, about the Amazonian chief Juma and her family. And it's produced by Leonardo DiCaprio. And it's a very striking story about how one family is leading the tribe and fighting for justice. But in my conversation with Richie, he told me that many of these big films, big programs, big things that we see in media often come from big funding in Europe and the US. They don't come from local people, even though that's their story. So these are new dynamics that are coming out on how can more international cooperation can work with local communities on this. And there are amazing work being done. My friend Vanessa, who is also a lot of screening in the University of Para, she champions Amazonian voices. And I do think that people who live in these spaces, who embodies the land, who speaks the language of their ancestor, have the right and also wanted to co-create. Maybe they don't have the technical skill because of their background and where they are born, but at the same time, I think that wisdom is that potential. It's so huge. It's something that we can tap into. So, to answer your question, sorry for this is very long, but is trying to learn to tell a great story, to be tenacious and to defend, to love the future, at the same time helping them develop system thinking skill and learn from nature and be with the people who are so different with them. And it's only with holding that different contradictions in our mind can we bring the things that we wanted to see. And it's a big effort. As our Minister of Environment, Mr. Pong, has said, it's a moonshot project. Our NDC 3.0 just came out. How can we bring people together and gather them, mobilize them, and make them excited about this moonshot project, this mission? It's very important. And to me, to bring that fun and excitement to it, it's very, very important. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Sean. It's so weird that as a non-Brazilian, both of us, you kind of sold me to probably want to explore more in Brazil. It's like, it should have been happening from a Brazilian, but you're actually telling me a story and made me feel like I want to stay in Brazil. That's the power of storytelling. That's amazing. So let's go to Nicholas. You can speak in Portuguese for sure. Repeat the question. Okay, the question is, if you could recommend the design of a climate justice course for your school, what would it be?
Sim, ele perguntou se eu fosse recomendar tipo de curso para minha escola sobre a justiça climática, qual eu recomendaria? Então, eu vou falar de novo sobre o racismo ambiental, né? Que é algo que realmente deveria ser ensinado nas escolas, porque se você mora aqui, se você é um local, você sabe que as áreas marginalizadas, que as pessoas mais pobres que vivem lá, tipo os quilombolas, os indígenas, os negros, se você vê, as áreas que vivem essas pessoas são as que mais sofrem com a falta de saneamento, com os problemas ambientais em geral. Então, é realmente importante que desde jovem os estudantes saibam sobre isso, porque é uma injustiça muito grande. Se você mora aqui, você sabe que a área nobre, que vivem os ricos, são geralmente áreas bem limpas, assim, que sempre tem um saneamento muito bom, que tem um investimento do governo, e as áreas pobres são muitas vezes esquecidas. Então, é realmente importante que a gente saiba, principalmente nesse momento que o mundo inteiro está olhando para cá, para nossa cidade, para o nosso estado e para o nosso país. É extremamente importante que a gente fale sobre esse tópico, que é uma população que nunca teve a área de fala e nunca pôde falar. Nesse momento, a gente tem a oportunidade. E você pode ver que está tendo muitos protestos aqui, nesses dias, nessa semana, porque esse pessoal ele nunca teve lugar de fala para poder falar com o mundo inteiro, assim. E eles estão aproveitando desse momento para poder virar os olhos do mundo inteiro para a nossa cidade, para o nosso estado. E por isso, eu repito, é extremamente importante que a gente fale sobre o racismo ambiental, que é algo que acontece, por mais que muitas pessoas falem que é mentira, que não tem problemas ambientais, que o aquecimento global é mentira, a gente sabe que não é. E é extremamente importante que a gente fale sobre. Obrigado.
Thank you, Nicholas. Wow, round of applause. That means you're sharing very amazing messages, which I don't understand. Yeah, so Jimmy, please translate into Mandarin. No, I'm kidding. Please answer the question.
All right. Thank you, both of you. So for myself, as currently a high school student, I'm still going in school for like another 2 years. So what I think is, we have taught a lot by news, by teacher, by parents about climate change. About we know climate change is happening, but what we don't know is why should we care about climate change? We know there is climate change. We know like it's pretty hot today, but we don't know why. We don't know why is it hot, and we don't know why should I care about it. We know the reason for it. So what I think is, in the school, in the education, we should let the students, let the kids, let the teenagers trying to find out the reason, trying to find out this kind of project, this kind of topics, find out the answers by themselves, not by the teachers, not by us, by themselves. So we can teach them about how we can find the sources to do my actions, or how can I find the support from different organizations. We want them to do their action, find their things, and change the world from their deep heart, not by what we told them to do.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy. So, finally, we're closing up off our today's panel. Please, everyone, give me just one sentence. In one sentence, what is your call to action for educators, institutions, or leaders who want to support youth in climate justice? Let's once again start with Jimmy. Let's start with Jimmy.
So what I want to say is, our generation will be the future leaders. Then why don't we start educate our future leaders right now?
Wow, that's very precise in one sentence. Awesome. Next we have Sean.
Well, I think mine would be, this used to be an unimagined future. If we think about it, our ancestors, people who are, come before us, have never dreamed about us, And I think Berlin and Taiwan is over like 20,000 kilometers away. We're sitting here all together at this place in time. It used to be an unimaginable future. And tomorrow is today. And we all have that will. If we all have that will, if we could all bring the excitement and mobilize people. I think that's what history told us. That's so important. Is people who used to shake up, who know how to shake up the world. They know how to gather. And today we gather here for something, from very, very different backgrounds and languages. But I do deeply, deeply believe that we all have that in us, and we have to tap into that. It's easier when we do it together, and at the same time to, be experimenting and be humbled by our people around us, asking good questions, and of course, be not separated from nature. Thank you.
Thank you for giving 10 sentences.
That's
But yeah, as Sean mentioned, we are all from different ethnicity, different nationality, color, gender, age. 15 years old and I'm 38, and I can see some elders in our group. So yeah, we all come together, and because we care about climate change, climate justice, environment. This is very important. So I would like to end with Nicholas by sharing his one sentence, or you can take two, it's okay, because you need to anyway translate. Yes, I want you to say in English and Portuguese. You have to do bilingual for your final closing statement, okay? Let's give it to Nicholas.
Primeiro eu vou falar em português, tá? Uma sentença que eu quero falar para todos os líderes mundiais é que pare com que virem os olhos para injustiça dos povos marginalizados e que eles consigam trazer a igualdade para o mundo e pro mundo e pro nosso país também. So now I will say English. What I will say to the world leaders, we should stop with the injustice that affects the marginalized people, and we need to bring the equality to the world. We need to do it now, so we can make a better world, a better community, and so we can change the world this way.
Thank you, Nicholas. So, to everyone in the room, whether you are an educator, you are policymakers or organizers or youth like us, allies, your role is not just to listen. It's to take action with us, with everyone, with the person next to you. And let's stop asking you to fit in your framework. Let's give them room to grow, to explore, to express, and to take action. This is our panel for today. This is our session for today. And thank you for joining us. I'll see you, hopefully, in no time. Thank you.
Thank you. Obrigado.